Question 14, last question here. I'd hope you get a lot from part A. I doubt there's going to be a lot in part B. Let's look at part A to start with. Look, I can see a sine 2t there. Let's write that out. Y equals 3 sine 2t. And you know that sine 2t is 2 cos t sine t. So I've got 6 sine t cos t. That's what y is. And actually, look, sine t is not too bad. Sine t I can get from here. Sine t is clearly just going to be x over 2, isn't it? So I've got y equals 6 lots of x over 2. So I've got 3 x's times by cos t. Now you might notice the answer here has got a squared in it. So why not square everything? Let's square both sides. If I square that, I get y squared. I square that, I get 9 x squared and a cos squared t. And maybe that will remind you that cos squared t is 1 minus sine squared t. So we've got 1 minus sine squared t in here. And what's sine squared t? Well, sine squared t is this thing squared. So I've got y squared equals 9x squared lots of 1 minus x squared over 4. One more bit of tidying up. They want a 4 in here. Well, I've got a 4 here as well, haven't I? So shall we just divide everything by 4? Take the 4 out and make that a 4 in there. So I've taken a factor of a quarter out. I've got 9 over 4 x squared, 4 minus x squared. It wasn't too much working all the way down there. Squaring it here helped a little bit. You could have actually just rewritten this one here as a square root of 1 minus x over 2 there. No, 1 minus x squared, x over 2 all squared there, but it might take a bit longer. Now, the last part's there to challenge the most able. We're looking at a circle, and this circle just touches it. Now, I thought for a minute that it was touching at the maximum points here, but it's not. It's touching at where the radius is as far out as it can be. And, of course, a circle has got the radius squared is x squared plus y squared. And, well, we've just figured out what y squared is. Y squared is 9 over 4 x squared, lots of 4 take away x. So that's just copying what we've put in there. Now I'm going to tidy that up. So altogether, I've got 10x squareds take away 9 over 4 x to the power of 4. That's just me multiplying out that and tidying it up. Now, that circle goes round as far out as that radius can go. So I'm going to differentiate it. I'm going to differentiate it. So if I differentiate the left, I get 2r dr by dx. If I differentiate this side, I get 20x minus 9x cubed. And at the maximum radius, this bit must equal 0. In fact, this whole thing here would equal 0. So I've got 0 equals that. Two choices, either x is equal to 0, and clearly that would be the minimum radius that we've got, or r squared equals 10 over 3. No, sorry, I've jumped ahead, sorry. So take a factor of x out, and we've got 20 take away 9x squared, and so that gives me x squared equals 20 over 9, and x equals the square root of 20 over 9. If x equals the square root of 20 over 9, I'm then going to put the 20 over 9 back in this one over here, and that's when I get that the radius squared is 10 over 3 and r equals root 10 over 3.